Welcome to Cooking with Andrea. Today we're going to be making this wonderful creation. I have to give a special thanks before I even tell you what it is to Chef Peter Lee, because he gave me this kind of like, hey, what can you do? How would you make this dish? Boy, it sure took me a long time to think about this dish. Good thing I wasn't getting paid. Or maybe I should have been getting paid. I would have been a rich girl, because it took me a long time, but I finally figured it out. I also have to give another thanks to my doctor, Sherry, because we were sitting there one day during lunch and we were just talking about, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. And I was talking about Chef Peter Lee, and I was telling them, you know, what his style is and so forth. And I says, yeah, I gotta do it. I want to do this like little creative thing in my head. She happens to go, oh, look what I'm having today. I'm having barbecue pulled pork with coleslaw and polenta rounds. I was like, what? And so what my dish is a plate on a Ruben. So I have my beautiful corned beef, which I went ahead, brined my own corned beef. There's my beautiful corned beef. I did it, and I was so excited. And I had made a Reuben sandwich before, and the chef that I like to watch, he had made a Reuben inspired dish, and I was like, oh, that looks delicious. But besides from straight copying him, I had to come up with my own idea. Finally, well, thanks to the two people I mentioned, I got this wonderful idea. Here's my polenta, and I bought it at Trader Joe's. And I was trying to figure out a vessel. So I'm going to call this my vessel to carry my rendition of a Reuben. So it's going to be called a Reuben polenta roll for right now. Or round. I think I'm going to call it a Reuben polenta round. Well, enough chitter chatter here. Let's get started. Well, first I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut my polenta. And I did not grow up eating polenta, so I wasn't sure how it was going to taste. And if I was going to like it, I like it. It's good. I'm going to start working on making my own in the future, because once I hit on something and I like it, then I want to learn how to make it. I'm very enthused by food, culture, different ways of doing stuff. I don't think you always have to stay in this form box and just stay there. I think we need to explore. I also probably need to be a little bit more straighter when I'm cutting, but that's not my strong suit, but I will get better. Most important thing is it needs to taste delicious. We can work on improving anything. Well, this is way more than what I need, because I'm not going to keep you here all day. So this is way more than what I need. Go ahead and set that there, but I've got lots, so we're good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my polenta, and I am going to take 1 cup of Progresso breadcrumbs, and I'm going to take a 1/4 cup of parmesan. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them right here on my plate. Boy, I have a whole lot on my counter. I better just back this little mess up a little bit. What I'm going to do, just dump them out. Mix it together. This is what I'm going to coat my polenta with. And then I'm going to bake it for 20 minutes or until golden brown is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to infuse my Parmesan cheese into my crumbs. If you get any, sometimes Parmesan cheese will have, because we put it in the refrigerator, it will be, it'll be stuck together because of the cool. Okay, so everything looks good to me. Good enough. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 eggs, and we are going to just going to straight beat them for a second. Didn't want to get them all messy over my counter. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to add any salt or pepper or anything to it because I got a whole lot of flavors going on here. Don't want to overpower one thing. Okay, so let me explain the other ingredients I have here. I have some beautiful Thousand Island dressing. I've got some wonderful, wonderful German sauerkraut. And so I went ahead, put my sauerkraut in its own little bowl so it could drain a little bit. Don't want it to be wet and infused like that. I've got some really cool shredded Swiss cheese here. And then I've got my wonderful corned beef here, which me and you are going to cut after we get our rounds in the oven cooking. And then I've got some water over here. It's steaming because I'm going to steam my corned beef. I don't want to put a fry on it. I don't want to put it in the microwave. So that's how I want to do my corned beef. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get my pan out. And I am going to go ahead and I am going to dip my wonderful polenta rounds into my egg mixture. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to dip them in my breadcrumbs. Boy, I've been wanting to make this dish. I just had not figured out all the components of the dish until I got some help. So thanks to my helping people, thanks to everybody who always inspires me, but I was just absolutely amazed. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put these on the pan. Before I put them in the oven, I'll show you how I have them laid on the pan. And we're just going to go ahead and just get right in here. Best way to cover these. And I cut them a little bit thick because I want them to be a nice source, or a nice vessel, I should say, for my corned beef, my sauerkraut, my cheese, and my Thousand Islands dressing. So here we go, nice and coated, beautiful. Let me go over here. I feel if I'm not getting messy in the kitchen some days, not always do I feel that way, but I'm a very hands-on person. I'm just coating real well. I just pat it on there. So like I said, we're going to bake them for about 15-20 minutes. Nice golden brown. I've made them before though. I've always made the sandwiches and things like that. I've made it with rye crostinis and things like that. But I never had tried polenta like this. Only way I had polenta before, I think it was under like maybe a short rib. We had gone to a restaurant in Los Angeles and I had ordered the short ribs and it had polenta underneath. And so that's the only way I had tried it. Never had tried just simply, even though I've seen these rounds in the log in Trader Joe's, I saw it all the time, but I never bought it because I was like, well, how am I going to make it? Is it going to taste like, what's it going to taste like? Grits? I didn't know. I had no idea. Never had tried it, except for in a restaurant. And so I decided, well, after I got the wonderful enthusiastic dish that my one doctor had made for her and her family, I was like, dang, I'm gonna try this. That'll make it, it'll make it work. I could do it. So me and my husband and my son, I practiced on them and we tried it, and actually it came out really cool. It was good. Another fun thing too is if you were having friends over and you were going to do like hors d'oeuvre night or hors d'oeuvres before dinner, if you put all the ingredients, cook the polenta rounds, and you put them on a lazy Susan, everybody can dress them the way they want to dress them, or even do it for the kids. Because like for me, I don't want any Thousand Islands. And you know me, guys, I don't ever tell a food lie. If I don't like it, I ain't eating it. And if I like something but I don't like the one ingredient, so I'll change the ingredient to what I want. Or I'll tell you, hey, this is how my family likes it. Like when I make chili with big chunks of onions, I'm not eating that. But it's not just about me. And it's not, when we're getting ideas about cooking, we're trying to help each other have ideas about cooking. You know, that's what we're doing. Okay, so this is fantastic. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this mess away, and I'm going to come right back with a clean counter. That's when we'll cut the meat and put the rounds in and get ready to get everything in the oven. So we'll be back. Okay, welcome back. Okay, like I said, counter is clean. Polenta rounds are good. We're going to add just a little bit of Swiss cheese to the top. Not much, but it's going to help. When I put my Thousand Island dressing on, it won't make my polenta soggy. It's going to taste delish, and if you want, you can put a little bit more on. But this is how I've done it, and it's come out good. I like the little bit of cheese. And we're just getting crazy creative. This is going to be a good one for, let's see here, St. Patrick's Day. Be able to take your leftover corned beef and things like that. Or do something fun at a dinner party or a gathering for the girls and guys at work. So we're good there. Okay, this is going to go in my oven for 15 to 20 minutes till golden brown. And then I'm going to come back here real fast for a second, and we're going to cut some meat. I already started cutting a few pieces. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come right here. You can cut it as thick or as thin as you like. Honestly, in the future, what I will do is take my beautiful slicer out, and I will slice this super thin. But you can do it this way too, because this is like a rustic cut. It's pretty thin. You can do it a little on the thicker side. It'll be steamed real nice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it into my steaming pot right here as soon as the polenta is done, and I'm going to go ahead and warm it up that way because I want to keep the integrity of the soft. I want to keep a little bit of the fat in. It'll make it nice and juicy and delicious. So what I'm going to do is get this back in the refrigerator, get the rest of it cut, get it back in the refrigerator, and wait for polenta rounds to come out, and then we'll be back. Okay, welcome back. Okay, our beautiful, beautiful polenta vessels, our rolls. These are delicious. Look, came out so great. 22 minutes. That's what I cooked them at. 22 minutes on 400 degrees. So, okay, we're going to assemble. Okay, so I'm going to take, this is why I put the little crispy cheese on them, so you could make them the way you want it. I'm using the back of the spoon. I don't want anything too overpowering because there's already a lot of great flavors here. So I'm going to put a little bit of Thousand Island dressing. I'm going to put this gorgeous piece of corned beef. It's got a lot of meat and a little bit of tiny fat just to cut it. And then I'm going to put our beautiful sauerkraut. And I just left the sauerkraut at room temperature. You can heat it, but the first time I did it, I just did it at room temperature. These are my beautiful Ruben polenta rounds. Absolutely gorgeous. So a little bit of Thousand Islands. Remember, we have polenta with the good crispy crumbs on there with parmesan cheese. We got some beautiful Swiss cheese, some beautiful Thousand Island dressing. You can use Russian too. And then we're going to take another nice, beautiful piece of corned beef. And remember, if your corned beef has a little fat on it, just take it off. You don't have to take it all off. Take just a little piece. That's why I said in the future, if I ever tried this again, which I did have corned beef just like this, so this is actually how we ate it. I'm going to just take a little bit of that off, and you can dress it really nice like that, but you want it to be decadent. This is something, to me, corned beef can be a very decadent hors d'oeuvre because the flavor is just outstanding. And this is what we have here. And like I said, in the future, shave it if you want, because then it can mimic a sandwich as well. But this is how, because I had my own corned beef that I had done in the past, this is how it was. So let me just try this. I'm going to take a piece because I don't want to mess everything up. So I'm going to take a nice piece of corned beef. And let me be bad. I'm going to grab a piece with a lot of fat on it because I like it that way. Super cool. You can take a bite like that, or you could do like I made the boys eat last week. Take your knife and your fork and do it polite and pretty is what I say. But actually it came out fantastic. So let me wipe my mouth here and say, hey, thank you, Chef Peter Lee. And thank you, Dr. Sherry. And this is what we're going to do. Ruben polenta rounds in the future for an hors d'oeuvre. If you like the content, if you please like, share, and subscribe, I'd be super grateful. Appreciate everybody and everybody's thoughts. Love watching each and every one of you. Have a beautiful, blessed week.